Hello, everybody. Stacey Gordon here, military transition coach and life skills educator, teacher, mentor, transformational life coach, and guide, helping you with your journey from military transition to civilian life as a veteran. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored, privileged, and proud that you have chosen to spend some valuable time with me today. So, we're going to talk about the 3-month vision guide and how I'd like my life to be, how you would like your life to be in 3 months' time or in 90 days' time. Some people better prefer to talk in days, and others like talking in months. So, whichever is more comfortable for you, we are going to talk about your 3 months vision from now. And before we start, I would like to give you a gentle reminder that if you or family or friends or anybody that you know and love might be in a little bit of need of assistance, they might need a little extra hope, a little bit of extra light, a little bit of extra guidance, please know that the Veteran Crisis Line is there to help you. They are standing by, ready to offer support and encouragement 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And all you need to do is dial 988 and then press the number 1. There is also the Veterans Crisis Line that you can access via the internet, and that's www.veteranscrisisline.net, and that will take you to a whole bunch of resources as well. Or if you would prefer to send a text message, you can do that as well, and that's 838-255. Again, that text number is 838-255. And my mentor would always remind me to keep moving forward no matter what. So I am going to pay those words forward to you and just remind you to keep moving forward. And one of the proverbs that I love sharing is fall down 7 times and get up 8 times. So if you're having a tough time and you've fallen down 7 times, no matter what, get up and keep getting up that 8th time and 9th time and 10th time. And just remember to keep moving forward and live your dash, because each and every one of you has special gifts and natural talents that the world is waiting for you to share with us. I know you shared many of those gifts and talents during your time in military service, and now it's time to recreate yourself and share those gifts on the other side in your new mission beyond the uniform. So again, thank you for being here. And Medal of Honor recipient Roger H.C. Donlin, United States Army Special Forces, Vietnam, reminds us to stay strong in mind, body, and spirit, and to ask for help no matter what. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, a sign of strength to ask for help and staying strong in mind and body and spirit for yourself and those you love. And again, the Veterans Crisis Line is dial 988 and then press 1. And there are people standing by waiting to just shower you with hope and encouragement and light and love. And remember, you've got this. Woohoo. Okay, so your 3-month vision guide, how I'd like my life to be in 3 months' time, or again, in 90 days' time. Again, there's a little reminder for you about the Veterans Crisis Line. And I want you to remember that you can do everything, just not at the same time. So you can do everything, just not at the same time. And I know that during military transition, it might seem like you are, just rushed, like with a fire hose full of water coming at you all at the same time. And that is absolutely understandable that it can be overwhelming and it can be frustrating. Just know that there are people that can help you navigate this process. So you can do everything, just not at the same time. Bite-sized chunks. When I used to teach school, and my first graders and fourth graders and sixth graders are now in college, military service, and the workforce, I would always say, that the way you eat a giant chocolate elephant is by eating it one chunk at a time. Just start with one bite-sized, manageable chunk at a time. So remember, you can do everything, just not at the same time. And I'd like to share with you something called the central question, which will help you figure out what you should be doing first and help you prioritize a little bit some of those tasks that might seem overwhelming. So the central question goes like this: what choice can I make, and what action can I take in this moment, in this moment, in this moment, to create the greatest net value, the greatest overall value for your transition and for your life. So the central question is, what choice can I make and action can I take in this moment to create the greatest net value? And sometimes, again, you still might be overwhelmed. So I'd like to share with you a technique that was taught to me. It's actually a triage system. And you ask yourself, what must happen in this moment? And ask yourself, what do I need to do immediately? And then what is important? And then what is routine? So again, the triage is what is immediate, what is important, and what is routine. Okay, so again, this is the 3-month vision guide, how I'd like my life to be. And at the bottom left of the screen, you'll see it's this activity or this exercise, this seminar, this learning and development session is a self-reflection and planning guide for your journey beyond military service and always. And a lot of times, we're constantly going at record speed that we don't ever really sit down and really reflect or ask ourselves questions as we plan our life's journeys. And my job, and it's my honor and privilege to help you create a healthy, a meaningful, a fulfilling life beyond military service. And one of the things I would like to say is, even though this workshop is designed with the military community in mind, active duty veterans, spouses, military children, teens, millennial, college age students, and beyond, it really can apply to students and civilians and caregivers, really anybody, because the reality is we're all going through the human experience of life and the human experience of transition. And as clear as we are on our vision for our futures, that will almost lay the track and the foundation to help keep us on track and help us make sure that we are going, we're going in the direction that we're supposed to be going, and our train just stays on the track towards success. And again, gentle reminder, if you or someone you know and love is in need of a little bit of assistance and guidance, please feel free to reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line. Dial 988 and then press 1. Or you can reach via the internet, www.veteranscrisisline.net, or text 838 255. Again, the text number is 838255. No matter what, keep moving forward. Fall down 7 times and get up 8 times and live your dash. One of the quotes that I would always share in my classroom at school for 15 years is, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And as you're journeying beyond your time during military service, it's time to recreate yourself. So, not just creating yourself, now you're starting again, and it's time to recreate yourself and recreate your identity and recreate your brand, who you are meant to be in your next mission beyond the uniform. And it's also important that you take some time for yourself and you give yourself some space to breathe, to take a break, to just reflect. So I'd like to share this quote with you. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, no trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. Live your dash. Let's take 3 deep breaths together to be present, to relax, to center, to calm, because I want to move you out of your flight and fight, overwhelm, and anxious mode and just give you a chance to just relax. So again, 3 deep breaths together. Breathe in 1, breathe out. Breathe in 2, breathe out. Breathe in 3, breathe out. Live your dash. So you might be wondering what this dash is and what that means, live your dash. Well, I would like to dedicate this presentation to my mentor, United States Navy veteran and former chairman of the board of Vets to Industry, who would always talk about living his dash. And we would always talk about a poem called The Dash, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, by Linda Ellis. And I would like to dedicate this to Tim. Tim, my mentor and dear friend, passed away this past January of COVID. And when Tim and I would always talk, we would always talk about the legacy that we would leave behind when we laid our head down on the pillow for the last time, or we took our last breath. And, you know, that is my question, or my thought, seed of thought to plant in your head. What legacy will you create beyond military service? And always live your dash. And Tim would always remind me to keep moving forward. And if I fell and I bloodied my knee, that was okay. Keep moving forward and live your dash. So this is a poem by Linda Ellis called The Dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But what he said mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth. And now only those who loved them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that still can be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? Again, that was the Dash poem by Linda Ellis. And I hope so. I hope you are proud of the things that they say about you. And if you have not been proud up until this point for whatever reason, it's up until now, today, in this moment, you can have a new beginning. And something that Brian Thacker, Medal of Honor recipient, United States Army, Vietnam, said to me that helped him get through his toughest times in Vietnam was the poem by William Ernest Henley, Invictus. And these are the two key lines. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Say it with me now. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. It's all about the chances, the choices that we make in the moments that we're by ourselves and the moments that we're in the spotlight in front of others. It's the choices that take us to where we want to be. It's the choices we make that either help us get where we want to go or they don't. But again, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And my discovery sessions, my guided inquiry workshops might be a little different than some of the classes that you've seen before. And I go based or with the mindset of Confucius, the Chinese philosopher. Tell me, I forget. Show me, I remember. Involve me, I understand. And that's the key. Involve me, I understand. So during our time together, I'm going to be asking you curious questions and essential questions, which you might not have ever been asked before, to help lead yourself through a discovery to get to know your own self and your meaning in your new mission beyond service. Involve me and I understand. And my first graders and fourth graders and sixth graders still get in touch with me all the time to remind me or let me know that a lot of the lessons that I taught them when they were 6 years old or 9 years old or 12 years old are still with them today as young adults. So it's my hope that some of the seeds of thought and inspiration that I plant in you today will carry you in this next chapter of your life. Again, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. You've got this. Okay, 3-month vision guide, how I'd like my life to be. A self-reflection and planning guide for your journey beyond military service and always. It's important to remember that clarity is power. Clarity is power. And when you have clarity, you can move forward with force and conviction. Remember, it's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. And on your to-do list right now is to recreate yourself, be awesome, and achieve success. Recreate yourself, be awesome, and achieve success. You've got this. In the book, How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell, he tells his readers to ask the right questions. And I've also heard it said before, ask the right questions, get the right answers. So today we're going to ask the right questions. And in this realm of personal growth and development, some of the right questions to ask are, what have I learned today that will help me grow? What have I learned today that will help me grow? And how can I apply it to my life? And when should I apply it to my life? Well, I'm here to tell you that the time is now. So let's begin. And I also want to remind you a lot about your thoughts and a lot about your mindset. And if you change your thoughts, you will change your life, especially if you are not getting the results that you want. If you change your thoughts, you will change your life. So I'd like to share with you something called the results formula and let you know that your thoughts lead to your feelings, and your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. Could be productivity, it could be a bottom line, an increase in finances, an increase in healthy relationships, whatever that bottom line is for you. And the reality is, if you are putting stormy thoughts, negative thoughts into your mind, you're really not going to feel very well. Your body's not going to feel very good. You're not really going to feel very well. And therefore, your actions are not going to be the best that they could possibly be. And if your thoughts are not as great as they could be, then your feelings won't be that great. And if your feelings aren't great, your actions won't be great. And obviously, therefore, your results will not be the way you want them to be as well. So think about that. How are your thoughts? Because your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. However, if you change your thoughts, and I'm going to share with you in a moment a little activity to do that. If you shift your thoughts and you make them more positive, then your feelings are going to be a lot more positive. You're going to feel better, which will lead to your actions being much more productive and helping you work toward your goals. And then your results hopefully will be, where you want them to be. Think about it for a second. If you put fuel in your car, which is not the highest grade fuel, your car isn't going to feel that great. And if your car is not fed the proper food, if you will, your car is not going to move as efficiently or effectively as it could potentially move if better fuel was placed into it. And if your fuel, the best fuel isn't placed into your car, it's not going to get you where you want to go as quickly as you want to get there. So again, remember, it's all about your thoughts and the mindset. So your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your results. So I want you to take a moment and think to yourself, Are you giving yourself green thoughts, like a traffic light, green thoughts that are like a-okay, like I am feeding my mind with positive thoughts that are helping me move forward? Or, like a traffic light yellow, maybe I am not as positive as I could be. There's always room for improvement. And then think about red. Are you somebody that's telling yourself like negative self-talk, like I can't do that? Who am I to think that I could even be doing that? Well, you know, it's really important that you're aware of this. Dave Ramsey says awareness is curative. And once you're aware of something, you can adjust yourself. So, again, the results formula: thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to action, and action lead to results. And the bottom line, whatever you want that bottom line to be, whether it's a new business or new friends or, achieving certifications for your career, or even going back to school and getting a degree, if you want to buy a new house, start a new family, or even travel, go on vacation, travel and leisure somewhere, or simply just make more money. It all starts in the mind. Remember, change your thoughts, change your life. And here's a little shift for you, mindset shift for you. Remember, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. So try approving of yourself and see what happens. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. And say to yourself, I've got this. You can even look in the mirror, and it might feel silly, but you can absolutely just look in the mirror with a power pose and go, I've got this. I've got the power. Remember, it's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. And sometimes when we are beating ourselves up, we need to stop and say to that harassing voice inside, man or woman, I'm doing the very best I can right now. Sometimes when we are beating ourselves up, we need to stop and say to that harassing voice inside, man or woman, I'm doing the very best I can right now. I've got this. Remember, it's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. And something else, an affirmation that you can say to yourself, is every day I am learning to make more courageous choices that work for me and those I love. Every day I am learning to make more courageous choices that work for me and those I love. And notice what you're noticing. I want you to really pay attention to how your body is feeling when you say empowering thoughts, when you tell yourself empowering thoughts. Is your body expanding? Like, I can do this? Or is it contracting? And a lot of times we don't pay attention to our body. So notice what you are noticing. An affirmation, another affirmation is, I release self-criticism and choose to love and approve of myself as I am. Again, I release my self-criticism and choose to love and approve of myself as I am. And one of the things I used to do with my students in school is I would have them pretend that they were blowing into a balloon. So any negative thoughts, any criticism, that they were telling themselves, they would blow it into a pretend balloon, tie it, and then we'd let the balloon go, or we pretend we were popping it. So it's a simple activity, and it might be, something that you might think is silly, but it's very powerful, because if you blow all your self-criticism into a balloon and then release it or pop it, it will really make you feel better. It's out of your system and time to refill and refuel with positive affirmations. So again, I want you to pay attention to how does your body feel as you're talking to yourself and how you're talking to others. Are you expanding with your thoughts or are you contracting with your thoughts? Again, awareness is curative. And again, I want you to remind yourself that there is a solution for every obstacle I stand and face. There is a solution for every obstacle I stand and face. And remember that proverb from a few minutes ago. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Because as long as you keep getting up and you keep getting up and don't quit, the solution to the obstacle is right around the corner. So just keep moving forward. Remember, change your thoughts, change your life. It's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. 3-month vision guide. Finally, here we go. How I'd like my life to be. Okay. So, instructions. Allow yourself some quiet time to consider these questions that help you create and shape your vision for the next 3 months, remember, or 90 days. What you're going to do is you're going to write your answers in the present tense and be as specific as you can. For example, I am being mentored and guided by a supportive network. And these can always be a lot more specific. So I am being guided and mentored by a supportive network who understands the IT industry, who understands the project management industry. I am being mentored and guided by somebody from the MBA program that I want to join, or somebody who has started their own business, somebody who is an entrepreneur. So again, as clear and as specific as you can make it, your vision, that will help you bring it into existence. So another example framework is I am taking classes towards certification. Another example is I have found a meaningful and fulfilling career beyond military service. And you can put the amount of money that you want to make a year, or the type of impact that you want to make, or, if you want to work for a company that matches your values and the mission of the company matches your mission. So, again, it can be much more specific, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of framework here. And just in case you weren't sure how to find this worksheet, there is a place where it says document PDF download here, and that's where you can download the document and then print it right out, and then you have a journal for this activity, and then you can always rewatch at your convenience, and every 3 months redo this activity. Remember, it's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. So how do I want my life to be? In personal life, home environment, and family relationships. How about how do you want your life to be in education? What does that look like for you? For your career, maybe what type of education do you need to get? What type of skills do you need to up level in order to get your dream career or dream job beyond military service? What do you want your work life to look like? What are you doing with your time and your talents on a daily basis? Even if it isn't part of your job, what types of volunteer work are you doing? How are you spending your time using your gifts and talents to make a positive impact in the world? So, what do you want your life to look like in education, career, work, entrepreneurship, and business? And then life skills. How are your goal setting skills? How are your time management skills? How are remember, like we said before, your negative self talk, positive self talk? How is your inner critic? What do you want your life to look like in physical health, in mental health, in emotional health, and well being? And I'm hoping our time together gives you some time just to reset a little bit, to really think about what's important to you and your whole well being. The VA, so the Department of Veteran Affairs, has something called the Whole Health Library. And if you Google Whole Health Library, there's a ton of videos and there's a ton of resources to really help get yourself in check: physical health, mental health, emotional health, and well being. What do you want your life to look like in time and money freedom? What about financial literacy? Do you need a little bit of help with learning how to budget, learning how to manage your time, including your benefits for health, your benefits for education? There are a ton of people out there that can help you. And one of the first places I suggest going is vets2industry.org. The website vets, VETS 2 industry.org. They have an incredible free resource library organized by category, organized by state, that really can help you get resources and connections, really, really quickly to help you get to where you need to go and navigate this process as you reorient yourself in your life beyond military service. Hey, what about social connection and support? Do you know who your Spark team is beyond service? Because the reality is, I heard a veteran say recently, we didn't go through basic training by ourselves. So why do you think you need to go through transition by yourself too? Why do you think you need to go through life by yourself? You don't. Again, there's always people that you can turn to for social connection and support. And again, the first and foremost I recommend is Vets2Industry, because that is the loving group of people that adopted me as a civilian ally and supporter and helped me with my own transition from elementary and middle school teacher to veteran advocate, military transition coach, and life skills educator to serve and support the military community. And they helped me through my transition, and I know that they can absolutely help you as well. Again, mentorship program. So I am a mentor for ACP, for American Corporate Partners, and they can help you build a mentorship community to help you navigate this next chapter. What do you want your friendships to look like? Make sure you have quality friendships, because I'm not sure if you know this or not, but Jim Rohn said that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So it's really important that you surround yourself with people that cheer you on, that lift you up, that help you move in the direction toward your goals and your dreams. And it's also important for you to think about what characteristics make you a good friend. Why would somebody want to be friends with you? And think about your leadership skills, your life experience that you can share with other people. And this is aligned with, what do you want your personal and professional relationships to look like? Romantic relationships, life partnerships. What do you want your work relationships that, in your career? It's important to really pay attention to, the people that you're interacting with. And again, notice what you're noticing. How do you feel when you are in the company of these people in your life? Spiritual development. What is my new purpose beyond military service? How will I use my natural gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world? And again, there might be other learning and development that you might just want to do for fun. In lots of other areas. Act Now Education has a ton of courses available to the military community that you can participate in through Coursera. And also the USO Transitions Pathfinder, or USO Pathfinder Transitions program, can also help you as well. And it's also important to write anything else that you perhaps haven't thought about or haven't mentioned, because we're all different people. So we all come to the table with different experiences and wants and needs. So if there's been something that has not been addressed yet, feel free to write it down in the space here. And it's really important that you stop this recording at any time and just take time to write and take time to reflect and take time to think that you need to really, really, really take a few deep breaths and put some thought into your transition and your life beyond military service. Now, it's also important to identify what are some obstacles that you feel are standing in your way. Because sometimes we might feel that we can't get from where we are to where we want to be because there's something standing in our way. And at the same time, it's also important to ask yourself, what if there were no obstacles? What if there were no obstacles? Because remember, we talked about a few slides back that there's always a solution to help us overcome the obstacles. And all of the mentors I mentioned between Bets to Industry and ACP, American Corporate Partners, or the USO transitions team, or Act Now Education, these are an incredible group of mentors that want to show you how to work past the obstacles that you feel that you're facing. So it opens doors. So it's almost like there are no obstacles anymore. Your obstacles are now behind you in your rear view mirror. It's also important to ask yourself, who do you need to be? Who do I need to be to achieve this? I need to be someone who is curious, someone who is self motivated, someone who is mentored. I knew for me, being a civilian ally and a supporter, I needed to be someone who was culturally competent of the military community. I knew that I needed to be curious and learn as much as I could. And I'm still learning about the military community. I knew that I had to be motivated, especially I went through my own transition during COVID. So I'm the one that had to look up webinars about military cultural competence. I'm the one that had to be motivated to seek out mentors. I'm the one that had to put together a LinkedIn profile and go to classes to learn how to put together a LinkedIn profile. And I knew that I needed to be mentored. And that's why when I met Tim, my dear mentor, at my first Vets to Industry event, I knew that I needed his help because I needed to move as quickly as I could, in the forward direction. And know that you are not alone, and know that there are people who are waiting to take you by the hand and be your mentor and be your guide and teach you from what they have learned, some of the mistakes that they've made along the way, what has worked for them and what has not worked for them. A quote I would like to share by Jack Canfield, who is the co-creator of Chicken Soup for the Soul and the success principles, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Jack Canfield says success leaves clues. So it's really important that you think about what is working and follow those little breadcrumbs forward. Think about who is helping you move forward and follow the breadcrumbs of their track forward. So again, who do you need to be in order to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve? And something else to think about is, if there was one important change you could make over the next 3 months, what would it be? So again, if there was one important change you could make over the next 3 months, what would it be? And what is the first step you need to take to move forward in this direction? So, in the next 3 months, if you want to make a change, what is the first step you need to make, you need to take to move forward in this direction? And what step will you take? Because those are two very different things. What step do you need to take? And what step will you actually take? So again, those are two different things. And another thing that's really important to ask yourself is, what do you need to start doing? What do you need to start doing? So you might need to start taking classes. You might need to actively participate in best industry networking circuits. Just a simple example of health and fitness. If you're somebody that wants to start getting healthy, well, you might need to start eating more vegetables. You might need to start exercising, to start eating fruit. And at the same time, you also have to ask yourself, what do you need to stop doing? In the realm of health, I need to stop eating Snickers bars with every meal and Kit Kats in between. What do you need to stop doing in your transition? I need to stop watching Netflix 24/7 and playing video games. Or you could say, I need to start doing those in moderation. Again, it's notice what you're noticing, and awareness is curative. And it's important that you decide on a theme for yourself for the next 3 months. I remember once, many, many years ago, I was taking a coaching and entrepreneurship class, and my theme was Stacey is jumping in, rolling up her sleeves, and getting dirty. And really, sometimes you just have to jump all in, with whatever it is you're doing, and just stick with it, for chunks at a time to help move you forward. So, what is your theme for the next 3 months? Think about it. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, and then make sure you write it down. And you can post your theme on post-its all over the place, or you know get like those window markers and write it on the bathroom mirror, just to keep yourself accountable, and visually, visual reminders. And again, here's that quote again: life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself, George Bernard Shaw reminds us. And again, in this chapter, Beyond Military Service, it's recreating yourself. And if you need more room, absolutely continue on the back or in a notebook. Just keep writing and writing and writing, because again, this is meant to be some safe space and safe time to give you just a little bit of break, and just really spend time with yourself and your thoughts, and really what you want to do, and really connect with yourself, to help you discover what you really, really want to do for a healthy, meaningful, and fulfilling life beyond military service. And again, this has been brought to you by Strategy to Success. So I'd like to leave you with a few parting thoughts of inspiration. Gary Lou tells us, this is your life. Shape it, or someone else will. This is your life. Shape it, or someone else will. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And I know many of you have been within the crucible of military service for maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 plus years. And that became a comfort for you. The routines, the structure, the uniform, the protocols, everything. And now, as you leave that behind, it's important that you remember that life begins at the end of your comfort zone and just on the other side. So I'd like to share with you this poem to help give you a little bit more confidence, courage, and inspiration. It's called Comfort Zone. I used to have a comfort zone where I knew I couldn't fail. The same for walls of busy work were really more like jail. I longed so much to do the things I'd never done before, but I stayed inside my comfort zone and paced the same old floor. I said it didn't matter that I wasn't doing much. I said I didn't care for things like dreams and goals and such. I claimed to be so busy with the things inside my zone, but deep inside, I longed for something special of my own. I couldn't let my life go by just watching others win. I held my breath and stepped outside and let the change begin. I took a step, and with new strength I'd never felt before, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye and closed and locked the door. If you are in a comfort zone, afraid to venture out, remember that all winners were at one time filled with doubt. I took a step, and with new strength I'd never felt before, remember, I kissed my comfort zone goodbye and closed and locked that door. A step of faith and believing in yourself can make your dreams come true. Greet your future with a smile. Success is there for you. Greet your future with a smile. Success is there for you. And this I discovered in a book called Believe You Can, The Power of a Positive Attitude by John Mason. And keep telling yourself, yes, I've got this. Woohoo! And this is a poster that I would share with my students we had hanging on our wall in school. It's the expert in anything was once a beginner. Remember, the expert in anything was once a beginner. And I'm also going to share a few other quotes and mantras and mottos that we used to hold very close to our hearts in my class at school. Anyone can be cool, but awesome takes practice. Anyone can be cool, but awesome takes practice. And I want to remind you that it's not where you start, it's that you start. One step forward, keep moving forward. It's not where you start, it's that you start. And a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. And a journey of 1,000 miles, your transition journey, which might seem like 1,000+ miles, begins with one single step. And I'm proud of you for being here today and taking some time to walk through the 3-month vision guide, because this will help you break down that journey of 1,000 miles into bite-sized chunks of one single step at a time. And again, if you or someone you know or love and trust and want to help, if you know of somebody that is in need of a little assistance and guidance and strength and support, please, please, please help them reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line. They can dial 988 and press 1, or the Veterans Crisis Line can be reached on the internet, www.veteranscrisisline.net, or you can send a text message to 838-255. The text message is 838-255. And just reminder of what my mentor would always say to me: keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times, and always, always, always live your dash. The words of Winston Churchill: never, never, never give up. Never, never, never give up. So I want you to ask yourself, what legacy will you create beyond military service and always? What legacy will you create beyond military service and always? My students and I would always say, March 4th, my friends, the rest is still unwritten. And I say to you, or we say to you, March 4th, our friends, the rest is still unwritten. I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for your service. You are the reason I am proud to be an American. March 4th, my friends, the rest is still unwritten. And always remember that you have the power to be a success. Always remember that you have the power to be a success. I'll see you soon. Please reach out to continue the conversation. You can reach me at the email address Stacey, STACEY .Gordon, GORDON.ME@gmail.com. Or please feel free to visit staceygordon.com for a ton of resources, hope, and inspiration. And again, I would like to welcome you to our family, the Gordonator family that spent 15 years in creation and evolution, and now you are part of our Gordonator family. And the definition of family is capital F, as in network and support system we create for ourselves, in addition to the families into which we are born. And the essential questions that are asked of all Gordonators, including you, is what makes your heart glow? How can you use your passion and purpose to create a lasting legacy? How do you want to serve others? How will you show yourself, your nation, your veterans, and your honored military heroes that you are proud to be an American? And always remember, above all, be the hero of your own life. It's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. It's choice, not chance, that determines your destiny. Hope and light. Hope and light. We'll see you soon.